The number one question people very often have is how can I really gear myself to growing my business and actually have a growth spurge? My name is Corne Rue, and I will be sharing with you some tips and techniques that I use daily in my business. Some of these tips and techniques I use over and over, but when I want to have massive growth, I put them all together. And today I'm willing to share them with you. The first most important part is that you have to make a decision. Nothing in your business will really change until you make a decision. So, if having massive growth is your wish, then you have to make a decision that you want massive growth. You also have to know exactly what that growth would look like. Would you like to recruit 10 active sales consultants? Would this be maybe a number of 50? Would your number be tied to turnover? Would your would your target be timed or tied is the correct word to a rank? So that is the most important thing you need to decide right now, because if you don't decide a tangible result, you will have nothing to measure it against. So let's say, for instance, I'm going to say that I want to have massive growth because I want to push my business to have a turnover of 100,000 rand. I would then obviously know that that is going to be my end line. And when I say end line, I think the biggest mistake a lot of people make sometimes is when they go in for massive growth. Now, maybe your massive growth would really be to get a turnover of 20,000, or maybe it would be to reach 50,000. But the tips and the techniques that you would apply is exactly the same. But the biggest point right now is you need to make a decision and you need to make a tangible result. So find out what it is that you want to reach. Then you develop a recruiting mindset. I sometimes I sometimes get despondent when I hear people say, "Oh, I'm going to do some recruiting next week." Then my question is, why not today? Why not every day? Why not wherever you go? Because if you develop a recruiting mindset, you are immediately positioning yourself into an area where you can recruit anyone. Sometimes it's difficult to say I'm going to go to a place to recruit. And maybe because your mindset then is when I reach the mall, I will recruit. However, by the time you got to the mall, you missed opportunities to recruit along the way. And that's the most important thing that I want to tell you right now is you have to have a mindset of I can recruit wherever I am, which means at the sports field, sitting next to a person, in the bank, standing in a queue, on my way to work, on my way back, even when I stop for bread and milk. The next thing I want to encourage you is to make friends. Now, first of all, I want to make friends that helps me to change my mind, helps me to bring me closer to the goal that I have. We often call this your table of influence or your circle of influence. Now, I want to make friends that are like minded than myself, maybe have the same goals. And it doesn't mean that it needs to be goals inside of this business. I have learned as much from other people in other businesses as I have learned from people inside my own business. But I want to have somebody that help me, that can really be my friend, that I can bounce off my ideas and can sometimes just really keep me um, responsible for the decisions and the promises that I made. Accountable is actually the correct word. Somebody that would say, but why have you not recruited somebody? You said you're going to do that. Now it's the second week you're having an excuse. That's the kind of friend you want to have, especially when massive growth is your aim. Then you're going to develop a positive daily habit. Now, we've got a lot of training sessions that helps you to create that. But let me remind you of what it is that you want to do inside your business right now. You want to make sure, for instance, that you greet your team early in the morning, that you post something motivational to them, that you are posting promotions to them, that the moment they place an order, you are reacting on the order, placing the order, confirming the order. Um, you want to make sure that you train your people. When somebody's got a question, answer their question with enthusiasm. Now, some days you will really feel tired and maybe even a little bit irritated or negative, then when I go and answer a person, I always stop for a moment and pause and check my attitude. Now, if you are mostly a positive person, you will very easy be able to identify that you have currently got a negative attitude. But then I make a conscious decision, stop for a moment, pause, breathe, and then I answer that girl's question as if it is the only question that I've ever had for the day. Be very cautious and careful about not dragging the previous energy into the next one. Um, Other positive daily habits is maybe I want to go and find a TikTok channel where I can listen at least one or two short little videos in the morning. Now, I like to do this. I subscribe to a channel, and in the morning when I get up, I just put my phone on and then it runs the one reel after the other, and I feed myself with some positivity. That really helps me to set my day so I can have a positive day going forward. Always be prepared. Now, remember, we're talking about growth. So, what do I need to be prepared? I need to know exactly if I'm going to get a sales consultant to join. Do I know what the recruitment procedure is? Do I know how to get my sales consultant started? Do I have an additional recruitment pack in my office, in my car, that if I reach that person, she says she's ready to join, I can walk to my car, take out the recruitment pack, make the exchange, and carry forward. Um, do I know exactly when I will be doing training? If you want to go on a massive growth spurge, you have to have your ducks in a row. Because what would it really bring me if I get a whole fresh mindset in, but yet I'm not prepared for them? So, going into massive growth, I nearly want to say you have to be prepared first. It gives you, I would rather pause a week in my massive growth spurge, get all my things, all my ducks in a row, maybe place some extra orders for things that I need to have on hand, and then I want to hit the road running. But do make sure that you are prepared. You want to tell good stories. This is the most important thing. If you can understand the value of telling a good story, it will benefit your business so much. You know, you want to tell stories about the product, about the business that can encourage people, because why do they want to add something onto their already busy life? So I always really invest a lot of time into thinking about what my story would be. And the one story that I often use, because it is one of my most successful ones, is especially because remember, I'm only effective if I tell a story that is applicable to both the person sitting in front of me as well as the business that I'm offering, and that it is a real event. So sometimes when people say to me, I so struggle to just, sometimes the kids have just got so many demands, and I really struggle to financially keep up with that. Then I go and say, I can so remember when my second daughter was about in the primary school, we really struggled financially. And she had this habit of just losing her school shoes or her jersey. And I really felt bad because I didn't have the money to just immediately replace the item. But then somebody introduced me to Honey. And usually what I say is I really felt like an inadequate mother. Then somebody introduced me to Honey, and quickly I learned a skill on how I can have some extra cash in my hand. And what helped me tremendously was the fact that I sold to people who had money during the month when I did not have, which meant that my profit just accumulated in my purse. And whenever something like that came up, I could immediately go and buy a new pair of school shoes or get the new jersey, or sometimes really just put some tuck shop money in her hand. So the ability to tell a good story is really beneficial for you if you want to go into that massive growth spurge. Listen and ask questions. Don't go into conversations knowing what the answers are. You want to listen and you want to find the moment. It's not about how quick you can speak, but it's about how powerful you are when you do speak. Being enthusiastic is really important. In today's a day, nobody really wants to hang around and nobody wants to join the team of a leader who is like not enthusiastic. So do make sure that your enthusiasm level goes up because this business is all about energy. Have big dreams. Because there are going to be days where you feel that your plan is not working. Then it's not about stopping the plan, it's about pushing through. Because if you do the basic items in this business over and over, you will have results. For some people, results break through in the 10th day. For other people, the results only breaks through on the 25th day. Don't give up too soon. So therefore, you need to have a big dream and know exactly why you've joined this business and why you are pushing through for a big breakthrough. Let's talk about why would this benefit you to work on a rapid growth plan. Now, some people go into the business and say, yeah, I'll grow as I go. Now, that might be true, but my question is, why not grow faster? Why not learn faster? Because that also means that I will earn more. Now, there's a couple of points that I want to highlight to you why a rapid growth attitude will benefit you better. It's about energy. The right people have the tendency to show up if you work the business fast. However, when you do drag your feet, the opposite of that is also true. Wrong people have the tendency to show up when you work the business slow. There's no way other than telling you that this is the way it is. I can't really explain it to you. It is a universal law of the energy that you will radiate will determine the people that you will attract. You also tend to be more focused. If you've got that goal, it's really about every day. What am I going to do to bring me closer to that goal? I have done that yesterday. I have to duplicate it today again. I often share with you the golden hour. What are those things that you need to do on a daily basis? And it's really better to gain that momentum by doing things daily and really be focused and determined instead of having that attitude of, I will see what I can do. Your thinking and your mindset changes the moment you start seeing that first result. You kick into high gear, and the benefit just absolutely it doubles up. It is as if you would have, just think about it when you would push somebody who has their car that broke down. You really struggle to get that vehicle moving. But as you push and you push and you push, you start gaining momentum. And I'm telling you this at one point that the car starts to move so fast that you can't really push it anymore. And that is one of the best benefits that you have with a rapid growth plan. It starts to give you a momentum that you never thought you could have. Well, these are my tips for rapid growth. I hope that you will go and invest in them. I hope that you would go and prepare for them. And then, most of all, I hope that you will see how this plan absolutely can work. The level of faith and enthusiasm that you engage with your rapid growth plan will determine your outcome.